Welcome back, Internet, and allow me to take a moment to talk about our friend, Billy Mitchell. So, first and foremost, congratulations are in due because yesterday at Galloping Ghost Arcade, Billy Mitchell set a new world record in the game Pac-Man. Now, notice I did say in the game Pac-Man. We'll get back to that later. Yesterday at Galloping Ghost Arcade, Billy Mitchell achieved a score that was beyond what we even thought was possible for Pac-Man. Now, if you don't know, a lot of retro games have what they call a kill screen, meaning that the game just runs out of memory and it is no longer playable. There is a foreseeable end to the game. So in Donkey Kong, it's at level 22, Mario just sputters out and dies, you can no longer play the level, and in Pac-Man, there's actually what they call the split screen, or also a kill screen, but more commonly known in Pac-Man as a split screen, where the game runs out of memory and half the board can load, and the other half is just kind of gobbledygook ghosts and random numbers and stuff like that on the other side of the screen. So with Pac-Man, we thought that there was a achievable and a perfect game, if will, meaning you don't die once, you get every dot, you get every ghost, you get all the fruit, you're a Pac-Man master. Only like 7 people in the world have done this. It's very hard to do, but it has a final score of 3,333,360. Yesterday at Galloping Ghost, however, Billy Mitchell played to a score of 3,338,420. So, as I'm sure all of you know, or maybe not, maybe you're here by happenstance, I wrote a musical about Billy Mitchell, and namely his most recent cheating scandal. Now, the only reason I bring this up is not to plug the show, but to be able to lay the scene for a story I want to tell you. Through this musical, I've actually come to spend a little bit of time with Billy as he's come out and been a huge supporter of the piece. So I just wanted to tell you about something that happened February 2019 at my last production locally of Arcadefire. So it was during our February 2019 production of Arcadefire, The Redemption of Billy Mitchell, that we partnered with Level Up Gaming Lounge, a really great new local business that you should definitely check out if you're in the area. Now, the reason I bring this up is to just describe the setup to lay the scene for you. We were performing at the Irvington Lodge, which is a 3-story building locally that lots of performance troupes make use of because there's a great performance area in the top floor. Now, we were thrilled to hear that at the bottom floor, where there's some local businesses and storefronts of the building, that a new business, Level Up Gaming, was going to be moving in. And so the top floor was going to be our silly little video game musical. And that same month, right below us, was going to be a new gaming lounge that was open. And as they were building this place, there's Mario on the wall. The bar is literal Pac-Man themed. It was super cool. So I really rushed to get the space for February 2019 so that I could workshop this second production of Arcadefire. And I really wanted to bring Billy out to something that was fully hosted by us with Catalyst, not just through Indie Fringe, so that we could do something a little bit bigger and better for the show. So we brought Billy in, we had Brian Koo for the first time, we brought Robbie Lakeman in to play some head-to-head Donkey Kong. It was the first weekend I met Neil Hernandez, so I finally had somebody to blame, and we just had a really terrific setup, which caused us to push even further as a theater company to make this a really big, great event. So we also ended up partnering with another local business called Video Game Palooza, ran by our friend Rick Barretto, who was also recently honored at the International Video Game Hall of Fame. Shout out to you, Rick. And we brought out Score Chasers creator, the one and only Sid Seattle Robert Rasick, to come out and host some video game tournaments for us. So we needed to get some classic arcade machines into the Irvington Lodge and up 3 flights of stairs. That's its own story and its own video maybe. But we had a nice little mini pop-up arcade set up, and it was then at the pop-up arcade at one of our very few breaks we took in the weekend. I assure you it was a busy, busy weekend. But it was then at a Pac-Man machine where Billy was just casually playing and I was checking my cell phone. The cast was eating some pizza and Billy started to say, you know, I've been working on something with Pac-Man. And that gets me thinking, Okay, Bill, what could you be working on? I mean, like I said earlier in this very video, Pacman had been maxed out. The final score, as I write in the play several times, is 3,333,360. What more is there to work on, Bill? And he told me that that wasn't the highest score you can get in Pacman. Now, I'm thinking one of two things. One, holy crap, do it now. There's your salvation, new world record. And also, easy there, old timer. What do you mean there's more than a perfect score? So I wanted to see this. We're all asking him to do it. And, you know, some of the cast overhears this. So, you know, they're gathering around the Pacman and everything. And he says, I'm not going to do it yet. We're going to do it at the 40th anniversary. And on top of that, he says, and keep your mouth shut. Nobody say nothing. But the perfect score is no longer perfect. So we all felt so cool and so honored because we were in on a video game trade secret from the one and only, and we've held on to that since February 2019. So why do I tell you this story? And why do I think you'll believe me at all? Honestly, I don't. My story will probably fall on deaf ears, but I bring it up because there's already rumblings that this guy didn't do it first. There's already rumblings that it wasn't legit. In fact, those rumblings started while he was still playing the game. I don't want to end this on a negative note. I didn't want this to be a commentary video. Like I said, I already made those 3, and I think with that, I'm kind of done. But I just got a little emotional to watch somebody that I now call a friend play through a holiday where he should have been with his family live on camera with Doc Mac present at Galloping Ghost Arcade in one of the most reputable settings he could have been in on the request of the company that made the game, and still see people formulate a theory to how he didn't do just that before he even did it. I want to bring it back to the beginning of this video. Congratulations to Billy Mitchell for achieving a new world record of 3,338,420 on the game Pacman. We're proud of you, Bill.